Hi, welcome to Finite Pi Videos. This is DC here. In the last video, I showed you a software that I'll be using throughout this video series to teach you how to use PN5180. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install that software and also how to set up the board to use with that software. If you already have a working PN5180 board and with the Arduino, then you can skip this video. You're not going to miss anything. But if you're a first-time user or a student who would like to do the project using any RFID technology, then this video is going to be helpful to you. So for a student, there are choices between whether to use PN5180 or PN532 RFID chip. Now PN532 is a very simple to use board. You can use both type A and type B. You can also do the peer-to-peer programming. I've made so many videos on how to use PN532. But in PN5180, you got everything you can do with the PN532. Plus, this thing supports the ISO 15693 tags. And if you are doing any studies on antenna fine tuning or designing antenna, then PN5180 board is helpful. And this also has got what is called energy harvesting. So the documentation says how to harvest energy from the RFID field of an external device. So these are the installation steps I'll be explaining in this video. I'm going to show you how to make connection between Arduino and PN5180. I mentioned this before. You can use a voltage shifter because the 5180 board requires the 3.3 volts. So most of the examples you see on internet, they use a voltage shifter. But I have tried this without using a voltage shifter. And I'm not 100% sure whether without using voltage shifter is safe, or safe in the sense you're not going to destroy the board. But I would think for a light user, without using voltage shifter should work. I'm going to show you how to compile this program with Arduino Ide, and also going to show you how to load the program into Arduino. You can either use the Arduino Ide, or if you got a Hex file, you can use a third-party software called Xloader. Plus, I'm going to show you how to install this learning software and connect to the board and start learning the various commands. So this is the connection I have used. You have got this PN5180 NFC board, and this is the Arduino. The connection is very simple. If you have done any connection using SPI, then this is exactly the same, except you'll have two additional connections. So here everything goes in a one-to-one. So I'm just going to go through this in a quickly. So you have to connect the 3.3 volts here. That goes to 3.3 volts to the board. The 5 volts here goes to the 5 volts, and the ground goes to the ground. And after that, if you go from the top, you got the RST pin. This goes to pin number 7, and the NSS pin, that goes to pin number 10, and the MOSI, that goes to pin number 11, and the MISO goes to pin number 12, and SCK goes to pin number 13, and the busy line goes to pin number 9. So it's just a straightforward connection. If you're using a level shifter, probably the level shifter will sit in between these two boards. And there are some nice articles on internet that shows you how to do this level shifter connection. So as I mentioned here, the pin number 10 and 7, the way it is done here is required to run this PN5180 library. But these two pins can, if you know more about the working of SPI, and if you after you become good in this programming, probably you can change this pins. And that's it. It's a very simple connection. So once you finish your connection, you're going to connect the Arduino Ide, compile the program, and you're going to load the program. That's what I'm going to show next. So if you're using this software, you will receive a zip file consisting of the Arduino source code. This source code includes the P5180 library, which you can find, which you can get from the GitHub, but you'll also find some additional functions that are added to the library. Plus, you'll also see the program that talks to the PC software. So by reading or understanding this this program here, so you can know how to write these type of programs. Now the first thing you do is you have to unzip this into a folder. I have unzipped this in a folder called C PN5180 made easy. And next I'm going to show you what I would do to now open this software. So this is your Arduino IDE. I'm using the version 1.8.4. The first thing I would do is go to the file preferences and set my sketch location to where I have unzipped. Now once you do that, you're going to go and open that project. Now this is the thing, once you're inside this folder and you're going to open this the Arduino sketch called PN5180 board interactive.ino. Now probably this will open in a new window. Now this is the program which is interface between the PC software and the Arduino, and I'm going to go through this program in my later videos. So this is the program you already have. Now next what you can do is you're going to load this program into the Arduino. For that you're going to compile. So before that, you have to after you finish connecting the board and the Arduino, you have to connect that to the PC. So you can see here I've connected my board, and I'm going to first compile. Hit this compile button. So you don't have to make any changes to this program. Now once you finish the compilation, the next button, this is going to load the hex file. So I'm going to load it. So probably while the program is loading, you can see a flashing. This is a standard thing that happens in Arduino. If you see the message done uploading, then this program is loaded into the board. Now next thing, you're going to install this software. You'll be given a URL where you can download this software. You can see here when this software loads, it automatically detects any connected devices and populates this drop down list with all the COM ports that are connected to your PC. And also at the bottom of the screen it says found one COM ports. Now this is the only device I've got into my PC, so I'm going to choose that. And the baud rate here, now this is the baud rate which is already set in the Arduino program. If you look at the Arduino program here, now this is a standard Arduino program. Now you can see the baud rate of the serial port is set to 115200. It's exactly the same thing I have set here as well. If you have to change this baud rate here, you have to change here as well. And I'm going to connect, and you're connected. It says connected to Arduino at COM4, and after that you can click on the console screen. Now this is where everything most of the time you'll be spending on this screen plus with the datasheet. So I'm going to go through a lot in details from my next videos, but if you're able to get up till here, that means you got your software running. Now inside the zip file you also get a copy of the hex file. Now if you're not interested to see what the Arduino source code does, if you're interested only to know how to use the board with the PC software, then you can just upload this hex file into the Arduino board. And if you want to know how to create these hex files, so what you end up doing is, what I do is, if you go to the Arduino Ide, go to File and Preferences, and at the bottom of the screen here, this is where you set the preferences, and I'm going to click that. Now this is where where this Arduino Ide is loaded. All the settings are stored here. I'm going to open this file called preferences.txt. I'm going to open this with the notepad, and in here you can see the third line from here. It says build.path, which is set to a folder in my PC. Now this line tells the Arduino Ide where to keep these hex files, the compiled hex file. If you don't set this path, it will be stored somewhere within your app setting. Now if you go to that folder, every time you compile the Arduino Ide, you can see the hex file stored here. Now assume that you have done a project and you would not like to give your source code to the user, then you can just generate a hex file and just give this file to them. I'm not sure whether reverse engineering this hex file is possible with IDE. However, you can protect your your software intellectual property with you by just giving the hex file. So once you have this hex file, you need a software to upload this hex file to the Arduino board. And I know one software from on internet called Xloader. I'm going to show you how to use that. So if you Google for Xloader, that takes you to a page where you can install this software. And if you're a software developer, it's easy to create a Xloader type of software like this. Everything you need to create this software is available as part of the Arduino Ide DLLs. Now within here, you first thing you do is choose a hex file to upload. My hex file is here. I'm going to select that. Then you have to choose the type of the board. Now I'm using Arduino Uno. Then the COM port. This is the COM port I've used, and this baud rate I would set it default. And keep in mind, this is nothing to do with the baud rate which I'm using in my program. Now when you hit upload, you should see some flashing lights here. So it says upload is just 5,212 bytes, the total program size. So this is uploaded. After this is the same thing. You go to the software. So same thing again. You will see one COM port found. So select the COM port and give a connect. And if the connection is successful, you should see this console button. When you click, this opens up the user interface where you're going to spend most of this video series. So if you follow these steps, you should have a working board with this software. So in my next video onwards, I'll be spending more time explaining various registers and also some of the commands. Thanks for watching.